Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 has been out for long enough that it is finally time to answer the question you've been asking since day -2. Where is Gogeta on the tier list? Just like Baby, we're gonna make a nice character sheet for Gogeta highlighting his strengths and his weaknesses. But along with Gogeta also came a balanced patch that changed a few characters' placements on this same tier list. So let's take care of all of that and give you guys what is possibly the last tier list for Dragon Ball FighterZ, since it really looks like that's it as far as characters go. Dragon Ball FighterZ is done. So let us see where they are leaving the game. This video is brought to you by Surfshark. I bet a lot of you guys already know the safety and privacy benefits of using a VPN. My personal favorite being the ability to browse the internet as if I was in another country. Every time I see people talking about a show on Netflix or Crunchyroll and that show isn't available in my country, well, let's just say I used to get really angry at that. But with a VPN, that's no longer a problem. Now, Surfshark specifically has a few features that really take it to the next level. First of all, if you follow the link down below, you'll get a massive discount of 83% plus 3 months absolutely free when you sign up for a 2-year plan. That's already crazy affordable for an average VPN, but this is no average VPN. Check out my normal internet speed, and now check out my speed on Surfshark. There's absolutely no significant difference. And it works on unlimited devices, which means I can have my VPN active on my desktop, my tablet, my phone, and if my dad's trying to watch some obscure Russian stream, I can always log on to Surfshark on his computer as well and help him out. So follow the link down below for an 83% discount plus 3 months for free, and Surfshark is also offering a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to even try it out for yourself. Thank you Surfshark for sponsoring this video. First up, I'm gonna move 2 characters on this tier list, and these characters were not even patched. This is just me changing my opinion after playing more of these characters, after playing against them, and after seeing some pros playing them as well. First, Piccolo, S+. It's not a big change, it's just a couple of spots, but I really do think that he belongs up there with the top tiers. He's definitely stronger than Goku Blue in my opinion. And then, Android 21. We're gonna raise her placement quite a bit actually. Everyone's picking up Android 21. She's absolutely everywhere in the competitive scene, and it's not like she changed or anything. People are just discovering how strong she is, and amongst those people is me. Damage, mix-up, neutral, this girl has it all, and we've sort of learned to use this character in a way that neutralizes her downsides too. I really believe right now she's a top 5 character. Those are the only 2 characters I'm changing before the patch, so let's get into the patch notes. A total of 3 characters have been nerfed, those being UI Goku, Kid Buu, and Goku GT. Let's start with Goku GT. He's gonna go from here to here. Yeah, I'm not moving him. You do have to play him differently within a team. The A assist was severely nerfed. That said, his B assist is still godlike. So instead of playing GT with a neutral assist, you'll be playing GT with a block stun assist, which in my opinion doesn't really change his placement, just changes his style. Next, Kid Buu. They've been trying to nerf this character for so long. We need to nerf Kid Buu no matter what we do. He's still a top tier. But sir, how are we gonna nerf Kid Buu without accidentally buffing him again? I know, I have the solution. Let's nerf Goku GT's A assist. Nah, they nerfed his super damage. They really had no idea how to nerf this character, so they nerfed his super. So yeah, this time it is definitely a nerf. It's gonna change his placement on the tier list. Yeah, it didn't change him much. Kid Buu is fine. Now, Ultra Instinct, on the other hand, he got massively nerfed. So many of his moves got a lot worse that he's gonna go from the #1 character on our tier list all the way down to #2. He may have lost a lot, but he still has so much more. This kind of proves the point that I made a few months ago of just having no idea of how to nerf this character without killing it completely, because there's just too much about him that is busted. They gave him everything, and a lot of his options are still super busted. He still has godlike normals, he still has the flip mix-up, he still has good full screen options, insane damage. To be honest, the only thing that got nerfed if you were a pro player was his DP, which is a bigger deal if we're talking about his assist really. He still has a frame 1 reversal with a parry super. Granted, it is used differently, but he still has it. He still has that frame 4. He still has a ton of defensive abilities. So really, the big thing that got nerfed was his assist, which is still really good, by the way. Still has a very good hitbox, still gives you ages to hit confirm. It's just not invulnerable to grounded opponents. It's only invulnerable to air opponents. #2 character, and listen, I would also love to see this character shot. I am so sick and tired of seeing UI Goku everywhere. I'm with you, but he's just too strong to ignore. Like, there's no way he's not the #2 character. Honestly, I think this was actually a very good nerf overall. A lot of his brainless options are gone. Not all of them, but a lot of them are, which has made him definitely not as annoying to fight against. But there's no denying that he still lives at the top of this tier list. And those were all the changes we're gonna make before adding Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 into the mix. And just like last time with Baby, we're gonna rate his damage, meter build, mix-up, team synergy, buttons, zoning, and then the bonus stat of Sauce, which doesn't influence his place on the tier list. I just think it's cool. Let's start with damage. First of all, he's got that instant kill, which immediately makes the damage the best damage in the game. But he does need to get to level 7 to do that. It is possible to get to level 7 in a single combo depending on your team build. And if you build a team specifically for that, you will miss out on other things. Your team will have definitely a lot of flaws. But that also means you can potentially kill any character with any touch. With most characters, if you have Sparking Blast and enough bars to vanish into level 3, you will get at least 4 levels in a single combo, which is really good for finishing off someone because you only really need 3 levels before starting the combo. So the instant kill is actually practical. He can TOD you in many situations where other characters cannot, but even without the instant kill gimmick, his damage is still decent. Gogeta has restands, he has loops, his damage was already pretty good, and as a bonus, if you catch an assist in a happy birthday, it's actually super easy to keep the assist there and not drop the happy birthday due to how strong his normals are. The only thing that doesn't do a lot of damage with Gogeta are his supers when he is level 0, but we're still gonna give him an S rank in damage because overall his damage was already really good, and then you get the instant kills on top of it, so S rank for sure. Next up, meter build. This is how much meter can Gogeta build for himself during combos, or in his case, during neutral as well, since his level up also gives him meter. Though it doesn't give him much meter, so I guess we can mostly ignore that part. Gogeta has really good meterless combos, which means it doesn't require meter all the time. Even his mix-ups don't require meter most of the time, unless you want to throw a surprise overhead in the middle of a block string that is also plus in case the opponent blocks it. In that case, the EX flip is recommended. Depending on your team build, you may also need to vanish after landing a command grab, and if you want the optimal super dash solo conversion, you're gonna need to do that EX lariat. That said, none of these are required most of the time, which means he's not a meter sponge like Z Broly for instance. So he can save meter if needed, but how much meter does he actually build? Well, despite his combos having a decent number of hits, he doesn't have a lot of abilities that will build a ton of meter. Like Baby for instance, who has loops and a ton of ki blasts, he can build meter really fast, or base Vegeta loops for instance, which also give him a lot of meter. Gogeta doesn't quite build meter on that level. He's kind of standard as far as meter build goes, so we're gonna give him a very standard rank for meter build. He's getting an A. Next, let's talk about mix-up. How good is Gogeta at opening up his opponents after a knockdown? How good is Gogeta at opening them up after he makes them block? The answer is, he's really good. This is when a character has so many options that even things like a command grab that is theoretically reactable becomes really hard to avoid because you're looking out for other options. Let's take Gogeta into the corner. Why is the quadruple overhead such a strong mix? I mean, you could just block standing up, his only low is the 2M, that's reactable, right? Well, he can go for the quadruple overhead, or he can go for a triple, whiffing the heavy attack and going into a low, or whiff it and go into a dragon rush, or a command grab, or not even go for triple overheads and go straight into a low. If you're just looking out for 2 or 3 options, it would be fine, but you're looking out for so many that even the slowest options are threatening. And it's not just the corner, let's go mid-screen. You hit someone with your 6H and you can go into an overhead or a low. You can fuzzy block this or reflect, so it's fine, but once again, you can also go into the command grab. You can ki blast and bait the reflect. He can even just level up right in your face and punish you for being late in reacting. Because he has so many options, his mix-up is really strong, even if the frame data tells a different story. And that's without even getting into playing with a high block stun assist that allows him to double air dash, crossing up your opponent twice there. So yeah, his mix-up game is definitely up there. We're gonna give him the S rank. Next, let's talk about team synergy. This is how well Gogeta plays with others and how much he himself contributes to the team with his assists or DHC. Gogeta works well with a lot of different characters. Mostly he likes full screen options like beams or projectiles and block stun assists that give him a better mix, as well as a chance to level up during block strings and combos. So basically, he's a Dragon Ball character. He likes what everyone else likes. Regarding his contributions to the team, I personally think that his A and C assists really don't contribute much. His A assist benefits mostly him because he levels him up, and it can be good for finishing someone off because you have a buffed up super. And yes, it does give you meter, but in my opinion, it's not a huge contribution. And the C assist is probably your last option, mostly because the block stun is really bad. The B assist will be the go-to. Fast startup, good block stun, not a ton of range, but not exactly short either. It's a type of assist that we've seen in many other characters, so I would say his contribution to the team is about as standard as it gets. We're gonna give it the A rank. Next, let's talk about his neutral, and just like last time, we've broken down neutral into 2 different categories: buttons and zoning. Starting with buttons, how good is Gogeta at contesting air-to-airs in short range? How good is he at forcing the opponent to block? And the answer is, he's probably one of of the best characters in the game at doing this. First, he's got super fast jabs, both on his standing and crouching light attack. The hitboxes are really good. That follow-up light attack button catches opponents in many places it's not supposed to. He's got a lot of range on the ground with his standing medium and forward heavy. It's really not hard locking down an opponent from close range. And then his air buttons are straight up the best buttons in the game. It's ridiculous how active and how far they reach. These are responsible for how a lot of his combos are structured. They are responsible for how good his mix-up is, and they are just so comfortable to use in air-to-air battles or staircasing an opponent back down to the ground. They are so good, in fact, that giving it the S rank kind of feels like it's not enough. So for the first time, we're going to break this ranking system, and we're going to go even further beyond with an SS rank. Zoning, on the other hand, can definitely be one of his main downsides, but I want to start by highlighting what is good about him. First of all, he's really good at mid-screen. The lariat goes through projectiles, the flip, which is plus on block and has very good range. He can lock down an opponent with a key blast into the flip from a decent distance as well. Gogeta just needs to get a little closer from full screen to be really dominant. That said, the lack of full screen options definitely hurt him in a lot of matchups. It's very hard to fight against a good zoner. If you're fighting against a character that has good key blasts and they're playing the zoning game because they're winning, they don't need to take risks, it can be very hard for Gogeta to get in. That said, if the opponent doesn't have those kind of key blasts and they just want to play the defensive game, they can't do it because Gogeta can just level up for free. And that level up is extremely menacing. It will summon any opponent straight to you. So while this is a different type of zoning than the one we're used to, it's definitely very effective. That said, Gogeta does lose the full screen battle against a lot of characters, particularly ones with good key blasts, so we're just gonna give him an A rank. Finally, let's dive into the bonus category, the one that doesn't really have any weight on the tier list. It's the sauce. It feels like Gogeta has everything you want him to have to be saucy. He's got restands, he's got loops, he's got staircase combos, those look really dope. He can double cross up without dropping combos, and who could forget the hands-free combo? No need for punches or kicks to kill you. That said, most of Gogeta's sauce is Sparking Blast sauce. Outside of that, I mean, I think leveling up in combos is kind of cool, but not really the sauciest, so I'm gonna give him an A rank in sauce, and I think that's fair. And with that, it's finally time to put Gogeta on the tier list, and I think Gogeta is not a top tier character, but is pretty damn close. We're gonna rank him close to the top of S rank, right below Goku Blue. I think with a better assist, he could definitely go up to S+, but that plus the lack of full screen options are gonna hold him back from being a top tier. That said, incredibly strong character nonetheless, definitely viable, and honestly, I can think of a better character to wrap up Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, is this it? Is this the final tier list? I'm gonna say probably not. During the Dragon Ball game's battle hour, Hiroki Tomoko did confirm that the team was still gonna work on the game. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean more DLC characters, but it could mean more balance patches. So we'll see what the future holds, but the game is really not in a bad place at all right now, at least balance-wise. Netcode-wise. Thank you once again, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video. Follow the link below to get that 83% discount plus 3 months for free when you sign up for a 2-year plan. Where do you think Gogeta belongs in a tier list? Did I rank him well, too low, too high? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye.